Greetings, Pussycat Dolls. I had done a video not too long ago discussing Frank Miller's Occupy Wall Street rant, which went on to crazy extents. And I'd also discussed it on Comic News with Dukaloops, by the way. And I was trying to figure out what has gone wrong with Frank Miller. I don't understand why he has become so much of a cartoon of his former self. And I have a minor theory that it's none other than that hat he always wears, that black fedora he's seeming to wear all the time, as if he's one of his own Sin City characters. And I feel like maybe it's diluted his thinking and destroyed his mind and soul. So what I did was I hired some people and I've stolen it. Here it is. This is actually Frank Miller's fedora. And to test my theory, I'm going to put it on while I review the new Bruce Timm production of his classic, Batman Year One. There's been a fire burning in my gut, hotter than hell. Hotter than a pile of dead whores thrown into an incinerator. It's been aching for a production version of Frank Miller's Batman Year One. No, that mamby-pamby Christopher Nolan did a half-assed job a few years back, but I wanted to see the real deal. That's when Bruce Timm came calling. He got together with some of his other animators, including a dame, to put together... No, on me! Oh, God! What the fuck? Okay, obviously I am right. Oh, Jesus. Well, I think my theory is correct. This hat is just pure evil. And it should be on no creators' heads whatsoever. Get this out of my sight. Well, anyway, I am here anyway to review Batman Year One. I might as well do it. And of course, Bruce Timm is the producer of the thing. Also, we got Sam Liu and Elizabeth. No, not Elizabeth. Lauren Montgomery directing the film. And it stars Bryan Cranston as Jim Gordon. This time playing Batman is Ben McKenzie. Eliza Dushku is Catwoman. And Katie Sackhoff is playing Sarah Essen, one of my favorite characters, actually, that Frank created. And long and short, it's Batman's first year. Now, it really encapsulates a lot of the Batman-Gordon relationship, mostly seen through Gordon's eyes, actually, which makes this story so interesting. Some people dubbed it, Commissioner Gordon Year One, but yeah, whatever. It did breathe new life into this character, starting in the comics, which made it frustrating with the 90s movies, where he was basically the same guy he was in the 60s show, kind of just a character there to be there, instead of a character. And that's what Frank Miller did with Year One, and boy, this is basically, kind of a re-envision of the character, and most stuff with Commissioner Gordon has kind of been, sort of, building off, what Miller did with this. And essentially, Bruce Wayne and Gordon come into town on the same time, on the same day. Of course, Bruce is in a chartered plane, and Gordon goes, I think he takes the subway or something like that into Gotham. Gordon has a lot of stress. He's, burned a lot of bridges in his old town, Chicago. Now he's going over to Gotham. Bruce Wayne is finally, fully trained, and he's still trying to figure out the whole Batman thing that he wants to do. And they see Gotham for what it is. It's just a cesspool. It's like, mid-70s New York, essentially. And there's a lot of that influence in kind of like films like Serpico and French Connection that was big into Frank Miller's working of Year One, and that definitely does still hold up here. It has kind of a 70s motif almost to it with the cars and some of the looks, but it still has that modern kind of feel to it. And they go about trying to deal with Falcone, who is the big crime boss who runs everything. He deals with the Commissioner Loeb at the time, and all the cops seem to be corrupt. Well, at least the half that are the powerful cops who run everything. And just we slowly watch their relationship develop. And Batman is supposed to be this villain that he's supposed to bring in, and he realizes that Gordon realizes that his fellow cops are actually the bad guys, and he's working with the bad guys, and it's just such a great relationship in the film, and it really does an amazing job setting it up. And the performances are just terrific. Bryan Cranston is just a brilliant choice for Gordon. I think he just really does do a lot of that Gordon narration so well. Ben McKenzie, I think, is decent as Batman. He does some of the dialogue good. What I thought might have been interesting is if they had gotten, I can't remember his name, but the actor who played Terry McGinnis Batman. I thought he still has kind of a youthful voice. That might have been a cool way to bring him back. But hey, whatever. And let's see, Katie Sackhoff as Sarah Essen. It's funny, I hadn't really thought about it until I saw this film, how small her part is in this story. She's kind of in and out, and that's kind of it. Mrs. Gordon actually has a bigger part when you really think about it to the story, and then there's Catwoman, who I do wonder, she doesn't have much to do in this story, except, there's a lot of whole setting up stuff in here, even though she really doesn't factor too much into the book, and in the film. I really do like the fact that they kept her kind of prostitute past intact for this film and didn't shy away from it. And actually, they didn't shy away from anything, really. Not that I could see. They even have the ending, the climax with Gordon and Bruce Wayne without costume. Because I always thought if they ever did that as a live-action film, it's like, would they really have Bruce Wayne fighting in the climax without a costume? And here we go. That's what we did. I really enjoyed this for the most part. I do have some minor problems, though. For instance, it's just kind of the book on film, panel for panel. Now, that doesn't sound like a really smart complaint, but the thing is, it's so faithful and so, I think, fearful of being wrong in its treatment of the material. I think it doesn't take any chances. Therefore, it does almost feel a little lifeless. I'm not sure how a person who hasn't read the book, I wonder how their take would be on it. But it doesn't seem like it really adds much to the book. I almost feel like maybe a little more meat could have been given to maybe the Catwoman subplot or something like that. And I'm not saying, do anything big changes. I mean, after all, 300 stayed very faithful to, Zack Snyder's 300 stayed very faithful to the adaptation. But it did breathe life. It did look like the book, but it still had this great energy. And he, did add some, he did add the Queen Gorgo subplot. And Sin City did a fantastic job, Robert Rodriguez's film version of Frank Miller's, 3 books or something like that. So, I don't know. It just does feel like there's just a little something missing. Frank has often talked about when he writes, he goes for your gut. He goes for your gut when he puts together a story. And this one doesn't really feel like it does. So I guess that can be a fault. I did enjoy it overall. I do recommend it, especially if you haven't read the original book. Definitely check it out. I want to give it, I think, 4 RAM chips. The material alone, the animation alone, the voice acting alone is really good. It does lack a certain sort of something that I wish was there, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I think that's about it. So push the button, Lindsay.
Maybe I will push the button. Maybe I'll cut your little nuts off.
Oh, jeez. Lindsay put on the evil Frank Miller hat. Well, you guys get going. I gotta wrestle that hat off Lindsay. Hi, Kiba!